I love these two characters up against each other. Welcome back to Fine with Aaron D. We're back for another episode of our Disney's Heroes vs. Villains Challenge. I am having so much fun in this series. I love this matchup this week. It is Lion King's Scar versus Lucas.
This is the editor Marine. I just wanted to drop this in here real fast because every time Erin says Lucas, she means Luca. It's a film she's not seen very much of because of the epilepsy. Uh, so I'm going to apologize on behalf of her. But she means Luca, not Lucas, and she will continue to call him Lucas throughout the rest of this video. My apologies. Continue on with Erin.
I think this is a really fun matchup. I think they are so different and have such different abilities and characteristics that I think that this is going to be an awesome lineup. I first want to get into their particular looks. Let's talk about Lucas first. He has the Pixar style. Definitely bright, colorful. If you have little kids, especially little kids that we know the colors really pop at them, this is a really fun movie to watch with them because if you have a kid under 3, you know that their eyes look pop with colors and they love watching it. So Lucas, his style, his colors in this movie are fantastic. And Scar, on the other hand, has the very Disney traditional look, very hand-drawn look that Disney is known for in the early days, though Lion King is starting to be in the time when they were changing up stuff. But I love the traditional look with Scar and the villainous. I think they did a fantastic job in the 90s with The Lion King. I think that's why it's lasted so long and been such a huge presence in Disney. But Scar really made this movie by the foreshadowing stuff he would do in the dark scenes, where he's singing about evil stuff. I think they did a fantastic job with him and making him seem so much darker and so much more evil with the way you drew him. So I think their looks are completely different. You really have the traditional Disney look with Scar and the new kind of updated look with Pixar with Lucas. So very different, but very cool, both of them. Let's get into their abilities. Scar's ability is really his brains. I have to say, Disney's villains, some of them are really smart. Now, some of them not so much. But Scar, you have to admit, he was smart. From manipulating poor Simba to even manipulating his followers into following him blindly, even when they were being ridiculous. From him taking over for his brother after he had him pass away. He caused it, but he manipulated Simba to believing it was him, and then he went in saying, "Oh, I'm going to save you, but to save you, we have to bring in my followers who you think are evil but aren't, and now you're going to take care of them." He manipulated everybody, and you have to think that takes a lot of brains. Yes, it's very evil, but he was very smart. Maybe not in the end because he didn't check that they did pass away his nephew, and his nephew came back fully grown and just as strong as his father. So, in the end, maybe not as smart as he could have been, but he did lay out a plan to make himself the new king. Lucas' abilities are really fun. He is a monster in the sea, and he transforms into a human. I love his heart and his. I think his heart is his. Even though the transformation is really cool and brilliantly done, and that's the ability that everybody's going to think of. I think his heart is the biggest ability, his kindness and his sweetness. For a monster, you got to say he's really got a sweetie. So I think you got the brains with Scars. Not that Lucas isn't smart, but you got the heart and the strength that comes with that from Lucas. So both characters, quite amazing. Now, getting a little deeper into comparing these two characters, we should talk about their iconic moments. Let's switch it up and let's talk about Lucas first this time. I think some of the most iconic moment, or the most iconic moment, is his transformation for the first time from monster to human. I feel like this moment was surprising and shocking. You didn't really know what the movie was about. And when I saw it the first time, I didn't. So I didn't know he was become human. I thought that transformation was very iconic. I also just think his friendships are so iconic. Him hanging out with
Sir, you forgot your harpoon and...
Oh yeah, thanks.
What? What are you doing? No, no. Oh, no. Help me.
First time?
Of course it is. I'm a good kid.
Hey, relax. Breathe.
Alberta, and I'm going to mispronounce his name, Juala. And I thought their adventures as friends was so cool. And I thought it was a coming of age story. So all the moments in there were just fantastic and very relatable to kids and to adults. It really hits home. We've all been there. We've all gone through those awkward stages. And I thought that those were very iconic moments.
Race. It's an epic, grueling, traditional Italian triathlon. Swimming,
Love to see it. To win my famous race, your team must be the first to brave the treacherous waters of the bay, devour a mystery bowl of my delicious pasta, and ride to the top of Mount Portorosso and back.
Scar's iconic moments. Well, I thought the iconic moments for him, of course, the last scene with Scar fighting with his nephew. Obviously, the biggest iconic moment of the movie is what everybody was waiting for, the villain versus hero moment. And I thought that was, of course, the biggest iconic moment.
Oh, Simba, you're in trouble again. But this time, Daddy isn't here to save you. And now everyone knows why.
But one of the moments that sticks out for me most is after Mustafa has passed and Simba has run away. It's him walking in and letting the lioness know that Mustafa has gone, and poor Simba, he says, is gone. And him walking in, telling them, and then saying, that as they go forward, there's got to be a new start. And he brings in all the hyenas behind him. I felt like this was the biggest iconic moment for him. It's the darkness really coming in and taking over the light, as you could say.
Mufasa's death is a terrible tragedy. But to lose Simba, who had barely begun to live, for me, it is a deep, personal loss. So it is with a heavy heart that I assume the throne. Yet out of the ashes of this tragedy, we shall rise to greet the dawning of a new era, in which lion and hyena come together in a great and glorious future.
So definitely a lot of iconic moments for both these characters. I would say they're about even. I mean, yes, Lucas is the star of his movie. Obviously, the movie's named after him. But Scar, I feel like he's the villain and he has just as many iconic moments. So I thought this was a fantastic lineup with that. I really loved it. I think now we got to go head to head. We got to get in deep. Let's compare them. Is it Lucas's heart and his friendships that make him so strong and such a contender in this fight? Is it Scar with his brains and manipulation of the hyenas to Simba to his own brother Mustafa? Is that what makes him so strong in this lineup? Who do you think would win head to head? Would it be our monster, Lucas? Would it be our lion, evil brother? Would it be him that would take the crown, as you could say, in this fight? Who do you think would win? Is it brains or hearts? I mean, this is really a brains versus heart kind of fight. I kind of love that because Scar is so evil, but he's so smart. And Lucas is so young and he has this big sweet heart that he sees good in things that he's supposed to be scared of. That's how I see the movie anyway. I love his coming of age and his embracing of his new transformation, as you could say.
All right, let's break this down so you can decide. Here are the pros and cons for each character. Starting with Scar. The pros: iconic legacy status. One of the most recognizable and quoted Disney villains of all time. Unmatched entertainment value. Every scene he's in drips with charisma and dark humor. Complex character depth. Psychologically manipulative, shows intelligence over brute force. Visual impact. Dark, angular features that scream villain. The cons: ultimate villain fate. Dies at the end, eaten by his own hyena allies. Physical limitations. Relies entirely on manipulation, since he can't win physical confrontations. And lastly, negative role model. Represents jealousy, betrayal, and murderous ambition. Now on to Luca. His pros: positive message champion. Embodies courage, curiosity, and stepping outside your comfort zone. Unique transformation ability. Dual form design. Sea monster and human. Is visually stunning. Heartwarming relationships. His friendship with Alberto is one of the Pixar's most touching dynamics. And modern representation. Represents marginalized communities finding acceptance. The cons: newer character with less legacy. Hasn't had the time to build the same iconic status. Age and experience gap. Limited life experience and strategic thinking. And lastly, underdog status. Not a traditional powerful superhero.
So I love these two characters up against each other. What are your thoughts? Who do you think is going on to the next round? Who are you voting for? I absolutely love that. Please put your comments. Explain why you're voting for them if you would, because I think these two characters are a really fun fight. Wisdom versus brains. Or is it? Or is it wisdom versus heart? That's what it is. Wisdom versus heart. Who's winning? Is it the heart? Is it our Lucas, our hero? Is our villain Scar? I can't wait to see who wins. Thank you guys all for joining me through this fun matchup. And as always, remember, find a reason to smile today. Bye, everybody.